Welcome to the Arsenal Stage News, and remember, make subscribe, then continue. Enjoy your news. It was a transfer saga whispered in press rooms and murmured in the dark corners of football forums for weeks. But now, it's no longer rumor, it's reality. Julián Álvarez, the relentless Argentine forward nicknamed La Araña, the Spider, has officially joined Arsenal Football Club in the summer of 2025, completing one of the most sensational moves of the transfer window. The £75 million deal from Manchester City to Arsenal shocked the Premier League, not just for the fee, but for what it signals. Arsenal are no longer building for the future. The future is now. The breaking point at City. The roots of this move stretch back to the previous season. Álvarez, despite tallying double-digit goals and assists, often found himself living in the long shadow cast by Erling Haaland. At times deployed out wide, other times on the bench, the World Cup winner grew weary of being a second option. Whispers of his frustration made their way to North London, where Mikel Arteta, a former City man himself, saw the perfect opportunity to strike. Julián is more than a forward, Arteta said at the unveiling. He's a system, a mentality, a force, and at Arsenal, he will be free to be all of that. The Arteta Project, a winger reborn. Though known as a striker, Arteta envisions Álvarez as a devastating inverted right winger, much like how he used Bukayo Saka in seasons past. With Saka now captain and often operating centrally or deeper, Álvarez brings ruthless verticality and flair to the wing. Not just pace, but precision. In pre-season, fans immediately saw glimpses of what was to come. Álvarez drifting inside, combining with Ødegaard, darting behind lines, and scoring goals that sent echoes through the Emirates. The Gunners now boast a fluid front line. Álvarez on the right, Kvicha Kvaratskhelia on the left, Lautaro Martinez through the middle. It's South American steel with European class. It's a trident of nightmares for Premier League defenders. Fans and fury. When the deal was announced, Arsenal's fan base erupted. Social media exploded with photoshopped kits. Chants of "Spider in red" filled the streets, and the club store saw Álvarez shirts sell out in 2 hours. Even former players weighed in. Ian Wright tweeted, "He's exactly what we've been missing, a monster with a smile." But not everyone was pleased. City fans felt betrayed. The club's brass insisted they didn't want to lose him, but Álvarez pushed hard for the move. He wanted a starting role, he wanted to lead the line, he wanted to be the guy. At Arsenal, he gets that chance. South American spirit, North London fire. Álvarez's first match in red and white came in the Community Shield against Liverpool. And he delivered. A blistering counter-attack saw him glide past 2 defenders, chop inside, and fire into the bottom corner. Emirates erupted. He kissed the badge. It was the perfect start. But for Álvarez, it's not about moments, it's about mission. "I've played with the best," he said in his first Arsenal interview. "I've won the World Cup, I've won the Champions League, but I came here to win something new, to help Arsenal return to the very top, to give everything to this badge." A system changed behind the scenes. Arteta redesigned Arsenal's system to fit the new arrival. The 4-3-3 now operates with a high, aggressive press. Álvarez is the tip of the spear, relentlessly harassing defenders, cutting off passing lanes, and leading transitions. He is more than a winger, he is a fire starter. His chemistry with Martin Ødegaard is immediate. With Ben White overlapping and Rice covering ground behind, Álvarez is given license to roam, to attack, to be unpredictable. The combination play, the pressing triggers, the positioning, everything clicks. Arsenal look like champions in waiting. Legacy in the making. By mid-season, Álvarez has already scored 14 goals and assisted 9. His work rate is unmatched, his smile is infectious, his passion is undeniable. Arsenal are top of the league, and the world takes notice. In Argentina, murals go up of Álvarez in red. In London, young kids chant his name at school. At the Emirates, his spider-inspired goal celebration becomes a ritual. More than a signing, Julián Álvarez is a statement.
Another news.
Luis Diaz. After several transfer windows filled with speculation, it has finally happened. Luis Diaz is now confirmed as an Arsenal player, joining from Liverpool in a headline-grabbing deal worth £55 million. The Colombian star is ready to light up the Emirates Stadium and bring a new wave of South American fire to North London. Edu Gaspar and Mikel Arteta had long admired Luis Diaz. The Colombian winger, known for his dazzling pace, tight ball control, and explosive dribbling, had consistently impressed since his arrival in England from FC Porto in 2022. But with Liverpool undergoing a transition and Diaz looking for a fresh challenge, Arsenal made their move. And it was swift, clinical, and determined. The negotiations began quietly after Arsenal's pursuit of Gabriel Martinelli's replacement intensified following the Brazilian's surprise move to Bayern Munich. Within 2 weeks, an agreement was reached. The Arsenal hierarchy promised Diaz a key role in the starting 11, Champions League football, and the chance to compete for titles under a tactical visionary like Arteta. For Diaz, it was an irresistible combination. The summer of 2025 will be remembered by Arsenal fans not just for bold ambitions, but for the thunderbolt arrival of one of the Premier League's most electrifying wingers, Luis Diaz. After several transfer windows filled with speculation, it has finally happened. Luis Diaz is now confirmed as an Arsenal player, joining from Liverpool in a headline-grabbing deal worth £55 million. The Colombian star is ready to light up the Emirates Stadium and bring a new wave of South American fire to North London. Edu Gaspar and Mikel Arteta had long admired Luis Diaz. The Colombian winger, known for his dazzling pace, tight ball control, and explosive dribbling, had consistently impressed since his arrival in England from FC Porto in 2022. But with Liverpool undergoing a transition and Diaz looking for a fresh challenge, Arsenal made their move. And it was swift, clinical, and determined. The negotiations began quietly after Arsenal's pursuit of Gabriel Martinelli's replacement intensified following the Brazilian's surprise move to Bayern Munich. Within 2 weeks, an agreement was reached.